Our doctor awaits. Seems to be kind of shuffling through papers, and kind of feeling around the desk a little bit with his with hands, mostly before putting stuff away. And you can see on his face, first off, brown of hair.
Charlie moistens. No.
Fairly thin. What? Did you say moistens? What? You kidding me? Jesus Christ! Already?
No, it was a joke. I'm sorry.
And you can see a small band wrapping just over the front of his face, covering both of his eyes. And with your observant nature, you can also see a little, lineman's kind of walking stick, one of those extendo ones, on top of the desk.
Nice. Charlie knocks on the door to announce her presence, and then says, "Doctor."
Is that Agent Courier?
That it is. Charlie moves into a room, looks for a spot to sit down. That's, close to what they're used to normally sitting in, like, that position.
Mm-hmm. Well, it is great to meet you. My name is Dr. Hilary Thorne. My friends call me Hill, or you can call me Dr. Thorne, or just Doctor, of course, whatever you're most comfortable with.
I'll probably stick to Dr. Thorne.
I understand. It is nice to meet you, Charlie.
Charlie, we're using my first name.
If you would feel more comfortable, you can close the door if you wish. And if there's at any point in time that you wish for me to use a nickname, perhaps, or just your agent name, I can as well.
Whatever works for you, Doctor. And Charlie will close the door then. Again, try to find a seat.
Comfortable?
No. But that is not something you can really change, Doctor, so there's no reason to worry about it.
Well, it really depends. This is a place of openness, of course, and I'll do everything in my power to try my best to make things as comfortable as possible. Depending on what it is.
Like I said previously, cannot really change.
What is
why I'm uncomfortable. I am uncomfortable because this is a different scenario that I now have to adjust to.
The change of, well, not having Castle here?
Yes, not having Dr. Diablo in a different office. It's a change of routine.
Do you enjoy routine?
Everyone enjoys routine, so yes.
Some people don't.
Well, some people just don't understand it.
A good way to look at it, I suppose. Do you feel safer with a routine?
It's not about safety, it's about expectations.
You have expectations placed on your day in general, or on...
Yes, I have expectations for my day-to-day processes, as do most people, I'm sure. And we have those to help adjust to the foundation. Because some days, well, a Keter class SCP breaks loose of containment, and now everyone has to go and recontain it. Right. Otherwise, routines are what keep us all sane.
I see. So do you view your routine as, I suppose, therapeutic?
No,
Something that helps you stay grounded?
it is but the routine I follow.
Would you like to roll a res comp?
The fuck do I need to roll a res comp?
I don't know. Maybe you'll find out after you roll a res comp.
My
You're rolling a res comp because I
fucking
told you to, bitch.
God. This cheating son of a bitch.
He's not
Suck
cheating.
a dick.
He's doing the same thing that everyone else here does. And you will suck his dick, because I need you to tell me exactly how you're feeling right now, Charlie.
What the fuck?
Tell me everything.
My God, the GM rolls with empathy are powerful. I got 6 successes, Bree. 6. I forgot 4 dice. 1 second. Okay, that 4 dice didn't matter. Anyway, so exactly how Charlie's feeling, or like in general, or feeling with that line of questioning?
All of it.
Okay, so both of it. So I'll start with in general. In general, Charlie is like tense and unsure. This is new for them. This is a new person. Charlie hasn't been able to read up on this person yet because Charlie has all of their access to everything right now on hold. So Charlie's in the complete dark. Charlie doesn't like that. Overall, Charlie's just tense and on guard. They really don't know what they're getting into, and they don't like not knowing what they're getting into when it comes to base matters. There's probably some underlying stress there, just because like Charlie is pretty stressed out with this entire review thing that's going on, because Charlie has no idea what's going on with that, and like, so a lot of that going on, but there's not really. Besides that, there's not any other negative or positive emotions. It just seems that Charlie's in this state of, I'm unsure and I'm stressed. As for the line of questioning, I would say that right now Charlie's indifferent. Like, Charlie doesn't know exactly where they're going with this, but it's not exactly curiosity. It's more like, what are you doing? Sort of like a feeling, but it's also leaning more towards indifference. They don't really have an opinion yet. They're just trying not to be a bitch at the moment. Anything else you need? Like me to, describe?
I think that's good. I think. That line of question. Sorry, did you go through the line of question?
Yeah, I said like with the line of questioning, Charlie's right now indifferent, but like
okay.
they're also like, what do you mean? Sort of like where are you heading with this sort of thing? But it's not exactly curiosity, mostly indifference.
Okay. I see. He seems to kind of write some things absentmindedly down. With how he writes, it's less that he's kind of scribbling or kind of moving like gracefully along the page, and more that he's poking holes into it.
It's Braille.
He's making his own Braille.
Yeah. He doesn't even need to hide it like most people.
No.
It's just like, no one can fucking read Braille because you need to touch it to read it. Retards.
So you're just poking holes in a paper, essentially. Whether Charlie knows that he's doing Braille or if Charlie just thinks it's a nervous tick of some sort of poking a hole into a paper. It's up to you.
I think Charlie's observant enough to notice if there's like, a pattern going on.
What like doctors like chicken scratch handwriting would be if it's Braille.
Most blind people, what is this retard trying to say?
I was like, a rip in this? What the hell?
What?
Hectic Braille.
Is it hitting something hard, or is it like, or does he have like something
It's
underneath
against
it?
the desk.
Okay, so all I can hear is like a.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. One second. I'm gonna make a res comp because that's gonna get on Charlie's nerve pretty quick.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's
All
relaxing.
right. All right. Charlie made one success for her dehumanization flaw, and they then say, "Do you want me to find a cork board for you?"
Oh no. Unless does this bother you?
Charlie takes a deep breath because we're about to be super snarky. Lets it out. Yes, it does. The constant tapping is the exact opposite of therapeutic.
I believe some in the ASMR circle would say that it can be quite uh, alleviating, but I understand if it is not your thing. I will try and rectify that immediately. And he kind of like roots around in his desk a little bit, pulls out like a small little cork board, and puts that down under the paper, and then back to tapping. But you can't hear it now.
Charlie's just right now trying to figure out what ASMR means.
Would you like to ask?
No,
Okay. Well, it just is tapping.
at least it's lessened now, right?
Oh, it's like silent now.
Okay, awesome.
Well, Charlie, how would you describe yourself?
A exemplary member of a foundation.
It's good that you have such high thoughts of your position, but I meant more physical, or more physically. I can't explain.
I'm a female that is 35 and was born a male but is now a female because of an experience with an SCP.
I am sorry to hear
I
that.
am fairly certain I'm in good health, and I think I am of a, what's the fucking word? Decent level of attractiveness, if that is what you want to know.
Decent. Only decent.
Charlie looks at Hand and is like, I have not received any compliments, so I can't really affirm that. Thinking about yourself being pretty is narcissistic, so I tend not to think like that.
Taking pride in your appearance is not narcissistic. I
Taking
assume.
pride is one thing. I'm quite certain that I am. When I'm clothed, I am attractive and spot on. I know that for certain. It's just a matter of if other people find me attractive. That is where I'm not sure of. Has Charlie been told that?
I'm pretty sure, yes.
Who told me that?
I was gonna have to get you to roll morality there.
This is
But if it's
this is
just
a
you forgetting.
yeah.
I'm pretty sure Cass has
This
actually
is
said it.
chance forgetting. Okay, so Castle says okay. All right, so then Charlie will reaffirm and say, "I've only been told that on a handful, a few occasions by few people.
Well,
I, however, fail to see how that's relevant to this session."
I just need to know. Yeah, this is a meet and greet after all, as well as a session. I'd
I
like to
see.
know. I'm sure you definitely like to know about me. I understand that you like knowing about people for me, or least being prepared for certain things, which most likely goes with your liking of routine. And I'm sorry that I'm outside of that routine, so I'll tell you what I can for the meet and greet portion, of course.
I understand.
Very good. And he taps a bit more. Um, say your name.
What will he say?
Let's see how long has passed in this. Yeah, no, he'll wait a little bit then. Let's say. Actually, hold on a second. Let me just make sure of something real quick. Can. That is. Apparently I can't.
If he's just being silent, Charlie is, just like, if this is, like a actual in silence, Charlie's just like, why is he not speaking? Sweats.
No. No. You're gonna say something, don't worry.
Okay. I know, it's fair, it's fair.
Very sorry.
No, don't apologize. It's okay.
How do you view your work, then?
How do I feel about my work?
Yes.
I'm good at my job.
Well, that is besides the point. How do you feel about that job?
It's a job that, well, makes use of my skills.
And
Other
that's
than
it.
that, there's not much else to feel about it. It's better than being technically on the edge of death every moment.
Oh,
Well, I'm sure you've read my file, and I was one of Dr. Romero's men. Those on his team had a very low life expectancy.
yes. If I remember correctly, when I was there for a few weeks, we didn't get the chance of leaving. It was before your time. I'm quite sure that most of his men had a turnover rate, or should I say, recycling rate of about 5%. Or, I guess 95%. That's the correct saying.
Charlie nods and says, "Yes."
I'm sure that must have been very stressful.
It was indeed stressful.
Do you find it better here? It's less stressful. Without Romero?
It's not so much that it was stressful because of Romero. There was valid reasons for such a high turnover rate in that occupation. However, yes, it is less stressful as an MTF. but there's different dangers involved.
And you feel better with those dangers than with the danger of Romero.
I feel about the same.
Any particular reason for that?
Well, the Foundation's a dangerous place.
It is. Do you at least feel that your I would say home, but I suppose the base is a better term to use. Having to deal with rogue dissidents and other such riffraff in the kind of chews on his pencil a little bit to remember the correct name in quality control, and then also having to deal with the stress of always making the right move in the place that you're supposed to be able to relax. Do you not feel that not having to deal with that portion that you do have somewhere relatively safer than your previous area is better?
Charlie takes a moment, because that was a big question, and then Charlie will say, in some ways yes, in other ways no. The working as quality control had its own luxuries involved with it, and as previously said, the own problems and stress. Working here as an MTF, not constantly changing locations, while yes, it allows for a routine to be more easily established, it has its own problems and its own risks and its own luxuries. It's simply, well, a different part of the same job.
So you have no strong feelings about the change other than that? That this is just a different job to do?
Yes. Just rather than dealing with dissidents and traitors, now I deal with, well, destroying SCPs and capturing them.
Destroying SCPs and capturing them.
And sometimes dealing with warring factions.
Taps. Right then. Do you have any friends here? Or anyone you would call a friend?
Charlie thinks for a moment, says, yes, there is a few.
A few.
Yes, there's Agent Lockjaw. I guess I can technically consider Dr. Diablo a friend.
Can you?
Perhaps if you use the definition of a friend.
Well, it's less about the definition and more about how close you feel with someone.
Charlie has like a expression of, I don't even know what that means. And then they say, perhaps then.
Perhaps.
I would still say that the definition's a good thing to go off of. So yes, Agent Lockjaw, Dr. Diablo, and That is it, I would say. Perhaps Agent Leach, but that's more of a co-worker relationship.
Right. So, by the definition of friends, you have two. Do you have no strong feelings towards them?
I would say I have strong feelings towards them.
What feelings would those be? Can you describe them?
Charlie thinks and reflects and says,
Reflect.
like how to describe emotion. And then Charlie will say, in regards to Agent Lockjaw, his presence doesn't annoy me as much as it should. And the two of us have worked together for quite some time. I understand him decently well, and I do try to look out on his behalf. As regards to Dr. Diablo, they seem to have a genuine care for those that they look after, including myself, which is nice. And I do feel the need to try and not give them a hard time. He doesn't need to roll empathy for this, but it's very much like Charlie's like, I don't know how to describe this, but I'm trying.
Have you thought about your emotions often, Charlie? How you
No.
feel about things and people?
No, I do not.
Taps, taps, taps. I see. Do you find it difficult to with an answer to that question? It's confusing.
Could you repeat that?
Did you find it difficult to come up with an answer to that question, or just confusing, or trail off?
Which one is he referring to? The friendship question or the last question?
How you feel about people.
Oh.
About your emotions.
So he's asking about the. Sorry. So is he asking about the one where he just asked about how Charlie thinks about their emotions?
When
That
you
one?
were trying to describe how you felt about people.
Okay, so he's asking about that one. Okay. And so Charlie will say, I don't normally think about how I feel about things.
Is that because of your training or because of something else?
It is because of my training. And they self-reflect a bit, and they consider.
Okay.
Well, technically it's not a lie, but after like a little bit of self-reflection, it's like, yeah, that's a bit of like bullshit. It's not just your training, Charlie. You're a psychopath, Charlie. And then Charlie's like, and it might have to do with my upbringing.
How
A
was your
bit of both. Rough.
taps?
That was Charlie's response. Rough.
Rough. Any what's the right word to use? Any points of your childhood stand out to you, and why you would have such a issue?
Charlie sighs as we consider their deep, dark backstory.
Yeah.
And then says, well, my biological father being convicted as a serial killer, then my mother marrying my stepfather. That was a fairly significant moment. And then I say the job I acquired was another significant moment. And then finally the day I had enough of my stepfather's abuse and I killed him. After that, I wasn't so much a child anymore. Charlie shrugs.
Why did you kill your stepfather?
He was abusive, and I didn't like that.
Was it out of an anger towards him, or anything deeper?
Charlie reflects and says,
As the just the pause of reflecting, tap tap
yeah,
tap tap.
oh, you son of a bitch. Charlie kind of like glares a bit at the paper and then says, I would say anger, and it might have also had to do with, well, it had been going on for so long, and it wasn't just directed at me.
Who else was it directed at?
My mother and one of my siblings. Well, I'm sure it happened to all of the siblings. All of my siblings, both biologically related and step.
You see,
But mostly out of anger, I would say.
anger for how he treated you and siblings, sibling. Oh,
Anger over, well, the injustice of it all. The police never did anything about it. The neighbors never did anything about it. My mother never did anything about it. So I did something about it. And it worked.
it worked. Um, why are you so sure?
He died. Butchered like the animal he was.
You see him as less than human.
Yes.
He taps. I see. So you believe that that was the end of it then? The source of the trouble was done, gone.
Oh, yes.
Did you ever check up on your sibling, your family, after you had finished that?
Years later, yes.
How are things going for them?
From what I understand, they went for some rough troubles. But things did eventually work out for the best of them.
And why is that?
I can't really say I wasn't there.
But you did check on them.
Oh, yes.
So, what was going better for them? Why do you think they were better off? How were they? Do you know?
My mother was running her own store. She seemed happy. My youngest of the siblings was helping in the store. My other siblings, those biological and not, Also, had all become successful in various different fields. One joined the army because that's what they wanted to do. Another became a nurse. Another a lawyer. And the last one, they became a teacher.
You only checked up on your family once?
Well, checking up on them again would have ended poorly for everyone involved.
So you maintained a distance out of... well, for their safety? Or to protect them?
For their
Was
own
it...
safety and out of respect. I understood that while a horrible person, my mother did at some point love my stepfather.
So out of respect for the feelings your mother once held for you?
Yes.
And is that it?
Well, and like I said, for her own safety, I was, after all, well, on the FBI's most wanted list.
That is true. Do you have no other strong feelings about your siblings? About your mother?
Not really, no. I'll never see them again. They'll never see me again. So why think about it?
Have you ever thought about trying to see them again?
No,
Why is that?
because I work in the foundation, and my life is held by the foundation. And, well, they wouldn't recognize me in this state or my last state. I, after all, have changed in many ways.
So the thoughts never crossed your mind?
No. You were simply been a distraction.
A distraction?
Yes.
How so?
You would distract me from my work.
How so?
And then Charlie, like, squints at them, does an expression of, like, what do you mean? And then says, because it would.
Why do you think that?
Because that's the very definition of the distraction.
Is it?
Yes.
Tap, tap, tap. Why do you believe that?
Because that's how it is.
Could you elaborate?
Wanting to see my family, distant or otherwise, would distract me from my work in the foundation. Because of how much time I've spent in the foundation, and because technically I'm dead as well, what would the point be? It's a distraction to think about something foolish like that when it cannot happen, nor should it happen.
Why do you believe it shouldn't happen?
Because I'm dead. That would undermine the foundation. It would be a waste of resources to request a team to go out and change documents at the maximum so to allow me to be in the public eye, but even a smaller aspect of simply having myself be inside a surveillance vehicle so I can at least see them from a distance would also be a waste of everyone's time, thus a distraction.
Do you view all Your personal pursuits is a waste of time outside of the Foundation.
Of course not. When I have off time, I'm entitled to doing what I want to do.
But seeing your family is not something you want to do.
I didn't say that. I said it is a distraction because of how much time and resources it would take up from the Foundation.
So you do want to see them, though?
Not necessarily either.
Please help me understand. You're not saying that you don't want to see them, but you're not saying that you want to see them either.
Exactly.
So which is it?
I'm indifferent.
So you don't care about your family?
I'm indifferent to the aspect of seeing them. Caring about them is a different matter entirely.
I understand. Tap, 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 tap.
Charlie
He's
hates
gonna-
a tap,
he's going
tap,
to-
tap.
He's going to empathy you.
Son of a
What
bitch.
would you like to roll? A res cop.
I would.
Oh, sorry. Hold on. What's your presence, Charlie?
My presence is I want to say 5. 1 second. No, it's a 4.
It's a 4.
Yeah, it's a 4. You haven't sugarlit honey tongued me, so fuck off. 5 successes.
Okay. Tell me everything.
He can't do that without complimenting me. He has to compliment me. That's how it works.
Nope.
What do you mean? Oh, you can just spend a willpower for it?
No, this is something different.
Oh, okay.
Though, actually, hold on.
Okay, fair enough. Fucking free over here, like, get fucked, Charlie! Get fucked! I'll seduce him just like I seduced you, Castle.
I need you to roll, actually, for this thing.
Okay.
From what I have a bit. Bree, could I get a copy of your list of social maneuvers?
Yes, it
Because
was.
I think I have a different list on mine, or at least for the one I've been using for Raymond.
Yeah, spend willpower, and the two of us have to roll something.
My thing doesn't
And,
even have that you spend willpower.
At least I think you need to spend willpower, Dab.
Mine is that you have to do a contested roll.
Yeah, you have to do a contested
Oh
roll.
wait, but the drawback is that spending a willpower point. Either way, what? Hi there. Yes. Yes, it is too. Right. What I have here is that you spend the willpower, and then you roll a present subterfuge versus the target's wit's empathy. A success, if you succeed at it, it indicates essentially that you can use the target's own interests and desires against them. And that's when you get half of their presence. Stick and move. I have that too. Okay. So we're gonna run it. Don't worry about like the last time you used it. It's fine. But we're gonna run it with the contested roll. It is a present subterfuge versus the target's wit's empathy when using stick and move. Oh, don't worry, Thorne's gonna look at you too. Like, and guess who else has it? Your best friend, Vulture. So don't worry, there's gonna be a lot of times it can be used on you. But hey, Chance, I'm gonna need you to roll for me a present. No, not present. Oh, sorry. With empathy.
Wits, empathy. Okay.
Yes.
Man. Look, it's still 14 dice, Dab. Status.
No, get out of there. No,
Oh,
that
no,
doesn't
no,
work.
no. Yes, it does. It's all social rules, damn it.
No, get out of here. We already
It's
talked
all
about this.
social
He has more
rules.
status than you. He's above your status. Get out of here.
I won't use it in this situation. We'll continue to do it to resist his empathies, damn it.
That's fine.
All right, 3 successes.
Piece of garbage. All right, what's your present? Your present is a 4. Correct.
Yeah.
I like how you're a psychopath and your empathy's a 5. Okay.
It's so that I can read people's intent.
Right.
It's why, I'm going to get a specialization for intent in it just so that I can, be like, yes, I know what you're going to do before you do it. Takes out Naifu. Uwu.
Oh my god. Get out of here with your uwus. All right, so he
Cass.
you on your empathy.
Okay.
Yours is tell me everything.
Yeah. Well, but I got a 5 for the empathy anyway, so well, resist. Which part are you exactly looking for here, my dude? Like,
The entire line of questioning, your thoughts on your family, how you feel about the questions, that sort of thing.
Charlie doesn't like those questions, but Charlie also doesn't like this line of talk, and you also get that Charlie's like conflicted about the family thing because Charlie's like, I don't think about these things. Do I care about my family? I don't know.
Well, it's time to think about these things, Charlie.
Yeah, so you get the conflicted from Charlie in that regards because Charlie doesn't think about this stuff. Charlie's a fucking psychopath.
Well, he's gonna be like, you're conflicted on that.
Well, I don't think about these things.
All right. Tap, tap, tap.
Why? Because it's stupid.
It's stupid. Stupid. You're stupid. All right. Then.
Charlie awaits for their response. Because right now all we're doing is tap, tap, tapping. Charlie doesn't like that.
Yep, it's fine. Enjoy the tapping. The silent tapping.
Whoever those ASMR people are, they're idiotic. Charlie comments, there is no way that could be deemed relaxing.
Huh. He taps more.
Charlie is a barely contained bottle of rage. No, Charlie's just like, Sigh.
I think that might be enough for at least my side of our first session together. And of course, with this meet and greet, I have to allow you to ask some questions as well. It's only fair. Do you have any questions for me?
How is a blind man able to perform his job as a therapist?
Well, do you mean physically speaking or in another case?
I'm referring to you specifically.
Well, it's all about talking to people, all about trying to help them understand themselves in as much as a way as we can. There are, of course, the other common innovations of our modern age that have helped those with disabilities succeed where in the past they may have not have. I don't think I need to explain those unless you really want me to.
I don't think those are relevant to this particular situation.
Other than that, I'm here to help you. And it doesn't take having eyes or legs or arms. Anyone can help anyone. Typing increases.
Charlie,
I think Charlie's taking her own notes.
click, 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 click. I hate this castle. Fuck you. Sense.
I hate this man. Castle sends back. Good. Any other questions?
Charlie takes in a deep breath, lets it out. Not at this moment.
Well then.
Charlie was going to insult them, but Charlie was like, no, don't insult them, Charlie.
Well then. Is there anything you'd like to talk with me about? About your week or your day or anything else?
Not necessarily. Dr. Diablo, however, gave me an assignment. Am I supposed to wait until he returns, or am I supposed to go over it with you?
How about you go over it with me? What was your assignment? Tell me all about it.
Dr. Diablo wanted me to reflect upon the various people I've killed in my lifetime that I can remember. Charlie then reaches out, takes out their phone, flicks through the thing, and they begin to go through the entire list. It takes a while.
Throughout the entire list.
Yeah, so he gets the impression that, like, from the list at least, there's a couple of people that Charlie tries, like, especially the X's, where Charlie tries to rationalize, but they really can't. And, like, in the end, like, in the writing, like, because Charlie doesn't admit anything because Charlie knows that Charlie has to send this to Castle anyway, and if Charlie lies, Charlie's going to get in trouble. And Charlie doesn't want to deal with that shit, so just tell the truth. So,
God.
in regards to the X's, it ends with like a Charlie cannot justify those. But then there's a lot of others where Charlie is surprisingly able to justify, especially with a lot of the earlier things, because Charlie works from the earliest they can remember people, starting with Stepfather, which Charlie very well definedly justifies and is like absolutely deserved to get murdered, absolutely sort of thing from Charlie's perspective. But it seems that the people that followed that until the X's started popping up was various lowlifes. Really bad lowlifes too, not just like, drug dealers, like murderers, traffickers, those sorts of people that Charlie seemed to purposely go after. It seemed in the beginning of Charlie's career being a psychopath and fucking mass murderer, they were a vigilante. And that over time, you can see that the justifications become weaker and weaker and weaker, especially after each arguable, like, without a doubt, innocent person Charlie kills. It seems that the justifications for the lowlifes become weaker until it just reaches a point where there is no more justification. It is just, I saw an opportunity and I took it. And then as for the assassinations, it was simply for the job. It was for the money. But by that point, there is no more innocent people being killed. Like, Charlie has about 3 years where they didn't kill anyone that was innocent. And then after that, they joined the Foundation. And then Charlie also wrote down a bunch of people that they killed in the Foundation. And then Charlie's just like, they were shooting at me. I don't really know who this was, so I killed them. And stuff like that. And there's one where Charlie details a person that they didn't like and how they were glad they killed that person. And during their time in D class, there's a couple of people like that. But overall, it's a very telling story of how Charlie went from someone that was kind of doing good to that fucking evil, but like still having some morals there. They're twisted as fuck, but there's definitely morals there. There's like something there.
There's bad morals.
Yeah, that's bad morals, but it's like, it's not like Charlie lacks morals. It's that it's that they've been twisted after so many like crucial events in their life, that they've been just twisted to the extent that they are today, where Charlie's like, what do you mean killing children's bad? Just the other day, I burnt down an orphanage. I'm not sad.
Yeah, that's not good. Okay. He says, I see. Well, barring all the ones that you killed Joao with the Foundation, it's quite easy to see where things start to drop off. I suppose the best way to put it would be.
Yeah, damn right you don't use the fucking word problem. Charlie's not a problem. And where would that be?
Well, at first well, why did you start killing people, Charlie? There was your stepfather, but why the next one? And the next one after that?
Because no one else would. Some people just don't deserve life.
Then, it should be clear for you to see where that third to trickle away. Your justifications get less and less foolproof, I suppose.
Charlie just shrugs.
Why is that?
I don't know. I guess it became easier. I didn't need to justify it.
Why did you think you didn't need to justify him?
Because I didn't.
You just didn't.
No, there's no need for it. The conclusion's always the same. Some people never learn. Well, many criminals and lowlifes, well, it's a repeated process, a cycle of it again and again and again.
Is your phone still out, Charlie?
Yeah, it's on their lap.
Okay.
So Charlie says, and so it's again and again and again, a cycle. It doesn't stop.
Well,
And so,
not
unless you cut off a problem at the root, it's just going to come back.
And what about all your exes? The ones you didn't have a justification for at all.
Charlie
then?
shifty eyes and says, I'm unsure. Looks down a bit, looks at phone, sighs a bit, puts phone away, just continues kind of looking down like, I don't know, man, sort of expression.
From what I understand, they weren't low lives.
No, they weren't.
Even as you were getting lower and lower on your list, the crimes that they were responsible for got more excusable than excusable.
Perhaps.
Perhaps.
Perhaps. I still did kill murderers and those such.
Well, even for your assassinations, it was less that you felt you needed to and more that it was for a job.
That was exactly what it was. A job.
But before it wasn't. When you started, it wasn't.
Well, no, it's because that was personal. This was... Those assassinations were payments.
So you started viewing yourself as any low-life thug would?
Say again?
Did you start thinking of yourself as any assassin or hitman? Some of the very same people you killed?
Charlie actually kind of snorts a bit and is just like, are you insinuating that I was a lowlife as well, Doctor?
I'm not insinuating anything. I'm asking a question.
Fuck off, Castle. No, I did not see myself as one of those lowlifes and thugs. Being a assassin, I took out high-profile targets.
For the money.
Well, I had to make a living somehow.
Why not choose any normal job? What about killing did
Well,
draw you to that?
when you kill a police officer for, well, being a horrible person, and most people don't realize that a police officer was a horrible person, it's a little bit difficult to stay in a city.
Sorry, I got something to say. Something that isn't Jordan being a condescending asshole. Oh, really? Just a police officer? Okay, Charlie.
Well, you see, we got to remember with Charlie's entire backstory thing, right?
I know. I
like,
know.
The
I can
cops
still
didn't
shit
care.
on him. Oh.
Yeah, but the cops didn't care that Charlie was killing low lives. So it was only like when
He
like
started
a hand, like
killing
when
more.
when
Yeah, I
two
know. I got it.
girls-
I
they're
got
like,
it.
Who is this asshole and why?
Yeah, I got it. Don't worry. I suppose that would make it very difficult to stay in the same place.
That it would.
But still, you still think all of it was necessary, except for the innocence, of course. Your exes. You still cannot think of a reason why you chose them.
Charlie thinks, reflects. Ugh. Just because this is an important one, I'm actually going to spend a willpower on it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Come on.
Oh, okay. I didn't need to spend a
Also,
willpower, but
what?
good job.
Also, what was the thing you chose for Charlie to learn again in
What do you mean?
the warehouse mission?
To self fucking reflect, and I also was like for Charlie to start to realize that they are a bad person, kind of,
Right.
and that
All
they
right,
need
keep
to
that. Okay.
fix themselves.
Right.
There
Got
we
it.
go. Spent willpower.
Yeah, sure. Like 5, 6, 7.
Yeah. So what Charlie?
Brain blasted. It's like Jimmy Neutron.
So what Charlie? All right. So I rolled my flaw dehumanization because Charlie doesn't like self-reflecting, and this is really much self-reflecting about humans and things.
Yep.
So this is hard, which is why I think it's fair for me to roll my flaw. So Charlie, after a few moments of silence, will say, "Perhaps it was to feel something other than nothing."
So you killed them to feel something.
Yes.
What exactly did you feel? What did you need to feel?
Something. I don't know why, but I did. Charlie now kind of twiddles with hands like, man, this is uncomfortable. I don't like this.
All right.
I guess a close feeling could be admiration, passion, maybe.
Admiration?
Yes, it's... Never mind.
No. Please. Continue.
It's... Have you ever taken a life? Personally, done it with your own hands?
I have.
Then you know that when you take a life, that's the closest you'll ever be to someone in that moment. That is when that person's true self is revealed. If you're a coward, brave, lonely, sad, whatever it is, that's when it comes to fruition. Those last moments. That's what is important to me. Because I can't forget it. I can't have it taken away from me. I can't lose it. Well, in the Foundation, I guess I could have it taken away technically. And mistakes do exist. But in most situations, it's not something that can be lost. Your soft bureaucratic hands. You leave Charlie and their fucking hands designed for paperwork alone.
I think he was talking about Thorne. I thought Bree was talking about Thorne.
I think Bree's talking about us both, damn it.
Both is good. Look at these two soft paper pushers.
That's all Charlie wants to do with their life, just push papers and slaughter people. Charlie would be happy. We need to kill these D-class. Charlie stands up. I'll do it. Oh, there goes Charlie at it again.
Again
Charlie's
with the
fingers on
murdering.
flames.
Oh boy, here I go killing people again.
Oh boy, this is the best part of the week, guys.
He says, I see, an emotion, a connection, I suppose, and only you have in that moment.
Yes.
Does that connection exhilarate you and fulfill you in some way? Is this something you like?
For a moment, it fulfills me, I guess. Like, I'm
Fulfills you?
not really sure.
Think about it.
I did. And I'm telling you, I'm not sure.
Well, thank you for sharing and for helping me understand. Is there anything else you'd like to ask about or want to talk with me about?
Charlie had like a moment of thought of, I want to steal his cane and see if he notices, but then's like, no, Charlie, that's bad. And and then Charlie is like, no, I don't believe there is. Is there anything else you want to ask of me, Doctor?
I think I've asked enough for this session, and I wouldn't want to keep you away from anything you may have planned in your day. But I will leave you with some homework, of course. At least that is something me and Dr. Diablo will be able to keep in
Charlie
within
has the
15 of the
dead-
session.
Charlie has the dead expression of, I hate homework.
He has a smile on his face. Well,
Is there any way
kinda-
to convince you to not have homework? I do despise it so. And then, seduction is what Charlie rolls. This worked on Castle. Maybe
Right,
it'll work on
sure.
him.
You swish your legs across and you realize,
Nothing
oh,
happens because he's blind.
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 Oh, he's blind. Exactly, he's immune. They brought in the big guns. They're like, Castle's weak. We need someone without eyes.
And then Charlie. But there's other ways to seduce with a voice, after all.
Also, Castle, that's totally something he'd say as a joke at some point. If he,
So yeah.
and with more time, he's definitely gonna be like, right, they called me in from Site 17. Not only because of my experience, but because I'm your fulcrum.
Hey, I can still I can still be suggestive with a voice. That still counts as seduction.
What do you mean? What do you mean, Thorne? Well, I
Two
can't get my
successes.
patients switch their legs to the side. Hmm. Well,
He says, unoffended.
perhaps in the future. Mm. Though your voice sounding like that, it is quite enticing. You do have such a lovely voice.
No! I've been defeated.
I was waiting all therapy to use it.
Fought uses fought attack. Cripple
composure.
uses a fought shield. Presence composure.
Crippled counter attack.
4 successes.
You are beaten.
God damn
Take
it.
a -3.
I take a -3 to all my social rolls now, and yeah, technically he's a cripple. Like, that's literally the definition of a cripple right here.
We'll go to that later. So, but for now, please bear with me. I do
Charlie
this homework.
sighs. It didn't work.
It didn't work, and he's hot.
Yeah, it's even worse. Now Charlie's like, man, that just makes me want it even more. Damn you, womanly body. And then Charlie's like, wait, is this a womanly body thing or is this a Charlie thing? Squints.
Something to reflect on. Now, he says, I have 3 things I want you to do for homework.
All right, let me just write this shit down. All right, I'm
Feels
ready.
over its braille. 1 each and die. 1. I want you to think on, well, what we most recently talked about. that feeling. What about that feeling before someone dies that completes you, fulfills you? What you're seeking each kill?
All right, I wrote that down as think about that feeling you feel when you murder people.
And why it might be there.
Well, okay. Does that count
Think
as
about
2?
death, horny on Maine. No, it's the one thing.
Okay.
2. I also want you to start thinking about your family.
Charlie squints at them and says, "Why?"
Because you don't know if you care about them or not.
That
want you to
seems
think about
irrelevant to my duties in the Foundation.
This isn't about the Foundation. You smile. This is about
Yes,
you and me.
but you work for the Foundation. I work for the Foundation. We are in the Foundation, inside a secret military facility that contains anomalous entities that cannot be explained by science.
Yes.
Everything we do is about the Foundation. Also, we're in the middle of an ocean. Do you know how long it takes to get takeout here? It's impossible. That's how long it is.
What does this have to do about takeout?
Has to do everything about takeout.
I don't think it has anything to do with takeout.
I think it does.
Well, that is your homework to think on about your family. If you care about them, if you don't, all of that.
I'm not going to think about takeout.
Don't think about takeout, please. Please think about your family.
Charlie sighs. The last thing.
I want you to go online when you have time to yourself, perhaps before bed, or when you find yourself having some free time with nothing really to do. I want you to get some nice headphones, and I want you to find an ASMR that you like online. And I want you to listen to one, and continue to listen to them until you find one that you like, so that you know what ASMR is.
No.
Yes. I do have some personal ones I give
No.
to some of my patients if you are hard up for content on the internet.
I refuse.
You refuse?
Yes. This does not seem at all productive to anything. This seems more like a personal jab because I happen to have a distaste or something.
I would never jab at you, Charlie.
I think you just did.
I did not.
I fucking roll to see if he's being a lying bitch.
All right, roll.
15 fucking dice. Come at me, bro. This is my speciality. Oh shit, you're
Yeah.
right. -3.
Yeah,
Okay,
no.
that's still 6 successes.
How about you re-roll?
How about you re-roll? No. I'm not gonna spend all my fucking willpower.
You're still
I need
horny on
that.
Maine.
I am still horny on main. I've got
Frickin'
1 success.
sploosh. All right. With that, being pretty honest.
Charlie squints at them. Get some water ASMR because I'm thirsty. Oof. Charlie will then say,
He also did offer his own ASMRs that he's made for his patients. So hey, if you want to hear his voice in your dream, it's silky smooth.
just like the deepest of sighs comes from Charlie, like pent up anger of, I'm a murderer. My job is to kill people. And you want me to waste my time with that kind of sigh. And then says, fine.
I know you hate
Send
homework, as you
me
think. that
no.
this is a waste of time.
No.
Please, for me.
Homework.
And he's gonna roll.
No!
Persuade you. You use that silky smooth voice.
I need a real composure.
Do -3. Reroll. The silky voice gets to you, man. You really want to just find some good ASMR, do everything it says. Reroll.
Twice.
That's like Aries level of sad right there.
You see, the roll gods love to fuck with Charlie.
I just came up with another comic skit for Aries. I'll tell you guys about it later. Anyway, so yeah, you're convinced, Charlie, and his voice is real smooth. It's real nice.
Charlie takes another very deep breath, lets down a sigh, says, "For correction, I don't think homework is pointless. I think this part of it is pointless, but fine. Send me an email of your suggestions. I'm sure you know how. And if you don't," takes a very, very deep breath, lets it out slowly, "I guess I can stay and just wait for you to tell me the links, or however else you plan to get that information across."
Do you not have experience with surfing the internet?
I have experience with surfing the internet. You said you have your own playlist.
If you wish, I have personal ones that I've created for patients. But I'd like you to look and find one on your own. Since your relaxation and your enjoyment of them is most important, and everyone finds different things relaxing.
I find my painting relaxing.
Well, then I can no reason why you couldn't listen to a painting ASMR, or one that you can listen to while you're painting. Combine two things at once. Either way, I would like you to find one.
This is horrible.
And when you say I find my painting relaxing, he goes back to tapping. He taps on the paper again. As he's still talking, looking at you.
Say that again. Bree's thing just blared in my ear.
Oh, well. When you say that you find your painting relaxing, he goes to stabbing through the paper again. And says, "Wow."
And what happens if I don't find one that I like?
He will.
Looks at him. He can't see Charlie's expression, but Charlie says, regardless, with an expression of, "Are you sure about that?" and says, "You sound very sure of yourself, Doctor."
I'm very sure of myself because I know that you're going to try.
Yes, I'm going to try, but that doesn't mean I'm going to succeed. Failure even happens to the best of us.
Wow, that is true. If you never give up on something, you never fail it.
That is incorrect.
Oh, depends. It's more of an Aristotle thing.
Philosophy does not suit you, Doctor. In fact, it doesn't suit anyone, really.
Well, then I'll stick with dealing with you then.
Charlie squints at that like, "What the fuck do you mean?" Charlie rolls empathy.
Okay.
No, I get that. No.
-3.
Yeah. 5 successes.
You can see that he's like, with empathy, he's like, maybe, oh, you're probably right. So I'll stick to being a therapist. I'll stick with just trying to help you
Charlie doesn't
instead
need
of dealing
help.
with philosophy.
Charlie huffs a bit and says, "Well, if that's all, Doctor."
Yes. Remember your homework. Please have it ready for next week.
I always complete my tasks on time.
It's good to hear.
It would be unbecoming of an agent of my status if I didn't.
I'm less worried with your status as an agent and more about you as a person.
I am a member of a foundation first. Stands up.
Have a nice day.
Charlie is like, and says, "There is hardly anything nice about this day.
Well,
Now that I
from
have
last
horrible
night's chat.
homework."
you might enjoy it. And there's always one nice thing about the day. If you really think there is nothing nice about the day, maybe that's your 4th thing for homework then. Find something every day that's nice.
By
The more you
telling
stay
me
here,
have
Charlie, the
a
more I'm going to give
nice
you homework.
Charlie was just about to be like, destroy him with philosophy when he says that, and Charlie like closes her mouth a bit, squints,
He smiles.
backs to the door, and then right as they open the door and start leaving, say, I need to fucking remember the wording of it. Implying a nice day. No, sorry. You cannot wish someone to have a nice day, as the context of nice differs from person to person. What you may think as a nice day may not be a nice day for someone else. Do you think on that, Doctor? And close the door before they can get more homework.
You close the door, all
No
smug.
kisses,
You did
Maxie.
it, Charlie.
I did it. I got the last word in, damn it.
2 hours later, there's a letter at your door.
No. So Charlie goes to her door, takes the letter out of the little letter baggie that Charlie has, because Charlie's professional. Charlie doesn't want to fucking bend down and show her ass to the camera. Only Layla does that.
You already did that with the Halloween party.
Exactly. What does the letter say?
Well, that is very true, Charlie. I want you to think of fourth thing for homework. What do you consider to be a nice day? And note down every day from here until the next session what was nice about the day.
My secretary has big dick energy. My secretary has big dick energy. I'm so proud.
So, Castle, you're going to get a phone call after Charlie reads this.
Castle, you're also going to get a phone call.
Oh my god, I'm on fucking vacation.
No. He's not gonna call you. But
Are
he
you
will
sure?
give you-
Are you sure?
No. I mean, Thorne will give you a text saying that you met with Charlie. You think it went well. I hope you're enjoying your vacation.
And then he gets a call from Charlie.
And you get a call from Charlie.
Yep, like 2 hours after Charlie's appointment, like Charlie read this thing, put it down, went to the bathroom, had a nice cold shower, went back, read it again just to make sure that they read it the first time, sighed deeply, did some painting, came back to it, looked at it, doesn't need to read it because Charlie knows what it says, and it's like, I'm going to call Castle. This is unacceptable. And then calls Castle.
Everything's falling apart, Castle. You need to come home.
Everyone's dying, Castle. Where are you?
I want my old therapist back.
Where's that caramel dick?
Charlie just sitting sadly on bed. Oh, where's Caramel then?
You should have. Do you want him to have rolled in seduction to seduce Charlie?
To trying.
Well, fucking do it. See what happens.
Seduce Charlie into trying?
Do it. Do it. I'll roll my composure.
No, it's fine.
No. You said you're going to do it, so do it, you coward.
No, there's always future sessions that he can seduce you.
Yep. I'll save it for now. Dr. H. Thorne is now on the relationship chart.
You also better
fucking love him.
You better put him on the kink chart.
Nope.
Also, oh no, you better.
You gotta buy him for the kink chart. You don't just get him, you gotta
enough.
spend EXP for that.
Not enough people have met him to warrant going to the kink chart.
2 people have met him. That's enough in my books.
No, not enough.
Okay,
I need
fair
at
enough.
least 3 people, and Tommy doesn't count.
So, Jordan, what is the time difference between Gary fucking Indiana and the ocean?
Sorry. Who?
What's the time difference between base and where Castle's at currently?
Oh, like the time we were allowed to talk about the ocean?
No,
the time.
time zone, yeah. Time zone difference.
Oh, time zone. Oh, hold on.
Because Charlie's therapy is like normally after lunch to make it easy on everyone else. Because I think Bree used it up because he didn't want Castle to be cranky.
Yeah.
I think that was your exact reasoning.
That sounds about right. So it was not cranky, it was hangry.
Yeah.
Cause yeah, if it's like a fucking 6-hour difference, or like larger, where I just imagine where he's just settling down and just phone
So
calling.
it's probably like 3 a.m. No, sorry, 3 p.m. Fucking base time. So
Hold on, I got it. Hold on, I'll give you the good time. The good time. There's a town called Gary.
Gary, Indiana.
I can't believe it's in Indiana.
It's the
I
worst.
can't.
It's the worst.
It's the worst.
It's Central Time, right? That's Central.
Yeah, or no.
No.
It's an hour ahead of
Eastern
Central.
An hour ahead of Central? Wow.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's Eastern.
Time in Gary, Indiana.
Or shit, no, it might be an hour behind. I can't remember. It's not the same.
It's an hour. It's an hour behind. Okay.
That.
So it's CDT.
According to Castle, it's a mistake. That's what it is.
The time is a mistake.
No, Gary, Indiana's a mistake. Indiana in general's a mistake.
So Central Daylight Time. Okay. So time you're looking at right now would be if it was 6 p.m. in Gary, Indiana. It is 11 p.m. where the base is right now.
So that would be a 11 p.m. So that's a 5-hour difference.
Pretty sure.
So then, if Charlie is calling directly after she gets off therapy, which is 3, it'd be 7? No, 8.
Or hold on a second, actually.
Oh wait, is it 5 hours ahead or behind?
5 hours ahead.
Okay, yeah, so it would
I'm gonna
be
see. Hold on.
8.
trying to think exactly. Hold on. So it's -5. So it's. Oh, it's 13 hours ahead.
13 hours. Oh my god. Wait, so 3, 4, 4 to 5, 5 to 6, 6 to 7, 7 to 8, 8 to 9, 9 to 10, 10 to 11, 11 to 12, 12 to 1, 1 to 2, 2 to 3. It'd be, oh my god. You'd be calling him at 3 a.m.
Calling, yeah. Gabby, you're gonna call at 3 a.m. in the morning.
You know,
Charlie
the sad
doesn't-
part is that there's a good chance he's probably awake.
Yeah, Charlie, doesn't even consider time zone difference because I don't think Castle told Charlie where he's going.
No, he didn't. Well, first things first, let me see if there's a good reason why Castle's awake in the first place.
I'll look at that.
Hey. That's nice.
Looks like he beat him.
No terrible, horrible nightmares tonight, or there are, but they're not crippling. But he's probably still.
I feel like I should give you more minuses for that.
I took a -5.
I feel like I give you more minuses for
Sure.
that.
How many dice do you want me to roll, Jordan?
One. No,
I won't play. I will roll 1 dice. This boy's been through a lot.
You're on vacation. You already took the money. You took a -4. That's enough. Hey, look, you still succeeded. You're fine.
No, I didn't. The thing's pointing the wrong way.
What? What do you mean? Oh no! Hold on a second. Look, you're fine. Your first roll was fine. You're good.
So then that means Castle gets woken up at 3 fucking a.m.
Woken up 3 a.m. in the morning. You just got to sleep. You're having trouble with nightmares, and you're like, oh, hold on, it's happening. Oh fuck, I'm asleep. Yeah.
Yeah, and then he hears the phone and he's just like, no.
You were having like a lucid dream and everything. It was amazing. And then the phone. And you look over and it's Charlie calling you.
Oh.
There's also a text message from your new doctor.
He like presses his palms against his face, breathes, lets it hit voicemail so that he can call Charlie back on the burner phone because he's not supposed to be accepting phone calls on that phone.
It's a very tedious process.
Yep, he just
Wait. If Charlie knows about the burner phone, is Charlie allowed to call that one instead, or is it?
I think only Vulture had that number because Castle texted him from it.
Yes.
Because I do know there is a protocol.
Yeah, you don't have the burner call phone number.
You get a call from a different number though.
Charlie picks it up.
So just so you know, Castle, it is a very tedious process. It will fully wake you up in order to make this call.
Wide awake. Wide awake.
You gotta remember like passwords and stuff. It's a whole thing.
Oh.
There's like a drunk test like in the middle of it as well to make sure it's not like a butt dial or a drunk call.
Castle hates life right now.
It's okay.
Fully is like wakes you up.
It's okay. Charlie's like underneath their newly found desk
1 second, let me
with
fucking
with their blanket around them, half naked, and is on this phone phoning
1
Castle
second,
because
1
Charlie's
second.
sad.
Rescom
Charlie is
succeeded.
sad right now.
Why is Charlie sad right now?
Because
I imagine I'm about to figure out.
Yeah, you're going to figure it out. It's
Is
gonna
my
be great.
mic okay, by the way? I don't have the headphones plugged in.
Yeah, it's
You're
pretty
fine.
good.
Okay. So then he answers the call and it's just Dr. Diablo.
Hello, Dr. Diablo. This is Agent Courier.
Hello.
I hope I didn't wake you.
What do you need?
When are you coming back? Just like very quiet when you're coming back.
1 second. You hear the sound of fabric shuffling, and you're like. 28 days.
28 days.
Yes.
You hear like a deep breath from Charlie, and then a small sigh, and they say, I see.
Is there an issue, Charlie?
I don't like your replacement. They have been unnecessarily cruel to me.
Oh my god! What? Are you lying, Charlie?
No. That's Charlie. Like Charlie's like sending that letter was like a new low blow. Like nothing is worse than that. And Charlie's then like, they've given me a lot of homework. They have now violating my free time with a letter, a horrible letter.
What is the letter?
And they're blind, and I don't know how that works, and it's really concerning.
That has nothing to do with it.
It has a lot to do with it.
Why does that?
Because they're blind. How can they read people's emotions if they're blind? It doesn't make any sense.
People express quite a bit through the sound of their voice.
Yes, but my voice is monotone.
It's not.
Not at this moment, it's not. I'm distraught. But normally it's monotone.
Oh, imagine trying to surprise Pikachu. It's not. Oh.
Surprise Pikachu face. And then like, at this moment you're correct. I'm distraught. Normally it's monotone. You know that's true.
There's still some tells. Just okay. Let's.
Oh my god, poor Castle.
I'm on vacation, and the worst fucking patient is calling me.
Castle, you're with your parents right now, right? Your parents' place?
He's at his parents' home, yes.
I do hope that your parents don't have like an in bed by this time. I hope the walls are thick when you're waking up in the middle of the night and having a talk on the phone.
You know what the thing is?
It's
I'm
fucking
not
Garrett.
so
They're
sure.
probably super thin.
Like
They're probably like wallpaper thin.
it's
Sorry, no, drywall
it's
thin.
a shitty house. I don't know.
All right,
But it's an
a
old
shitty
house.
An old shitty house? All right, we're talking then avarice ship level.
Oh, it cannot be that bad.
It's that bad now. No, I'm joking. It's not that bad. As long as you're not yelling or anything, you should be fine.
Castle knows the amount of noise he can get through the thinness of his walls. He knows.
I bet he does.
He's just like, this is why he talks quietly. Naturally.
And then Charlie also will say, please speak up, I can barely hear you.
Oh,
I've had to turn up my phone all the way.
okay.
I'm also in a position where the acoustics should be echoing so I can get a better hearing, and it's still difficult.
1 second.
I hope he doesn't have to get up and go outside, please, Castle.
That's exactly what's going on.
That's exactly what's going on.
Oh, the cold air! Wake me right up!
Yeah.
Can Charlie hear everything? Like,
You hear the sound of
door
shuffling.
opening.
Like the you know the. He like gets himself out of bed.
Are you in bed? I can call back at a later time.
No, it's
Or
fine.
you can call me.
I'm awake. It's
Well,
fine.
I don't want to. Well, if you're trying to sleep, you're trying to sleep.
No, Charlie, it's fine.
Yes?
I'm awake. I am going to step outside and we'll continue this. One moment, I'm going to put the phone down.
Are you stepping outside?
He puts the phone down.
Oh my
That's like the last thing you hear from Charlie. Why are you stepping outside?
He puts phone down, has to put on fucking pants, has to put on shirt. You hear zipper sound because it's fucking cold.
Yep.
Why is there a zipper? What are you doing?
He picks up the phone, not having heard any of that.
What are you doing? Well, why was there a zipper?
I'm stepping outside. I need... It's... Continue.
So yes, as I was saying, it's horrible.
You said that he offended you, or... What was it that Charlie said? I can't remember the specific word. Honestly, it makes total sense. Castle can't. He just fucking woke up.
So Charlie says, as I said previously, he violated my free time with a horrible letter, giving me even more homework just because he couldn't handle a jab, because he was jabbing me. It's not very nice.
Can you explain the letter?
Charlie reads the letter word for word.
What is the letter?
It is your last comment is very true. So perhaps I would like to understand then what you find to be a nice day to be. Please think on.
It's horrible.
Next time you meet, please tell me.
See, it's
Nice day. And
It's
mark down
horrible.
what nice things are in your day.
Castle hesitates before going outside, as he's just like, I'm going to get stabbed.
Really testing that crime rate, Gary.
He's just like, I'm stepping outside with the phone at night and Gary, Indy, fucking Anna. God.
It's okay. You're Latino. They'll leave you alone.
Oh.
Also, thing to note. Also, actually, you know what? Let's say it after this. Continue.
Hold on a second.
It's a lot of res comps you're making.
Oh, that's not a rescom. That's my stealth once I'm standing outside. Just... So I'm just not completely in the open. And then he says, it sounds like an assignment in relation to a conversation that was had during session.
Conversation was finished, and the assignment was given after the session.
What were the other assignments?
And then Charlie randoms him off and says, think about the feeling that I have when I murder people.
Turns volume down on phone.
Particularly the one regarding exes. Think about my family and listen to something called ASMR. I don't even know what that is. Apparently it's pencil tapping, going through paper. That's apparently what ASMR is. I just don't understand. I simply said, I don't understand how people can see that as, I don't know, relaxing. How can someone find someone jabbing pencils, paper as relaxing? I don't know, but apparently it's a thing. And he wants me to look into it and find something I like.
Autonomous sensory meridian response.
He wants me to brainwash myself?
No.
That is directly related to brainwashing.
That's not... It's a form of relaxation.
I'm sure the Soviets like to say that to all of their spies too. To all of these spies they caught as well. Here, listen to this, it'll relax you.
No, it's essentially it's either sounds or visuals.
that are done generally in repetition to invoke a comforting response.
So you're only proving my point, Doctor.
It's just something. It sounds like he just wants you to try it out to see if it'll help you. It's not brainwashing.
He said I have to find one that I like. I have to.
Well, it's alright if you don't find one that you like.
But it's not, because if I don't, I failed.
You don't fail. This isn't something that you can win or lose. It's just like painting. It's something to try to see if you enjoy it or not.
That wasn't how it was explained to me.
I believe this is a misunderstanding.
There is no misunderstanding here. She says with such conviction and like venom in her voice, like,
I hate Charlie so much.
why do you hate Charlie? Charlie's the best.
Get a word. Oh my god, I'm so sorry, Castle.
Charlie's the best, okay? These are the kind of interactions you get with Charlie. It's great, isn't it?
But yeah, he says, just look through and see if there's anything that appeals to you. Give it a try. And if it doesn't, explain to Dr. Thorne that it just isn't something you prefer.
There's silence. There's like something ruffling and Charlie huffs. Very well.
Empathy.
Charlie's somewhat distraught, so I won't give my full bonus. Dab.
Reroll.
Look, now Castle has to use willpower on his fucking vacation. Outside of Gary, the most criminal week.
Oh, okay. I guess you're able to read me.
What's he getting?
He's getting that Charlie's like fine. Like Charlie's not pleased with this. Charlie's like actually annoyed, a bit distraught. Like how could this have happened? It's change. Charlie doesn't like change. Charlie's a sad muffin right now.
What other assignments were given past that?
I already said.
So
Thinking about my feelings, listen to the ASMR, think about my family, and think about what a nice day constitutes as for me.
Okay. Do any of these pose a difficulty for you?
Difficulty how?
You tell me.
It's not very helpful, Castle.
Difficulty as in it causes you a setback or distress or
That's such a real fucking yawn.
a similar feeling.
Being assigned an assignment after the session was over is has caused me distraught. Charlie says, like, barely on the cusp of like a half lie, like barely there, almost a morality roll, but not yet.
Why is that?
Because the session is over. And the conversation was over. And I arrived hours later to my room to find the letter taunting me.
You believe it was a taunt?
Yes.
What other ways can we look at this, Charlie?
I don't know.
Assume it's not a taunt. What would it be?
I don't know. An vindictive move to prove a point?
Aside from that,
I don't know.
could it?
I just hear in the background, oh my god.
Could it be a different therapy style?
There's a long pause of silence. There's a possibility. Like, this is one of those things where Charlie was, like, trying to be like, no, but, like, it was like, fucking work, mouth.
I believe that Dr. Thorne felt the question or the assignment reasonable to add, and it's possible that it was something that only came as an afterthought. Now it could be something that he could have waited until next session. However, if he's planning on discussing further the topic that was assigned, then he's likely has sent that to you for efficiency's sake, and you understand how efficiency is.
Charlie squints at the phone, well, more like at the room, and then says, yes, but it could equally just have been vindictive.
He's here to help.
That doesn't mean they can take advantage of opportunities like this. It's a sigh of defeat.
It's not a sigh of defeat.
I see. Well, I actually don't see, but very well. He's really into that game.
He's so into that game.
I like to imagine Charlie actually hears that in the background.
Yeah, totally.
Just like there's someone in the house that's still awake. Oh no.
Yeah. It's canon. And he's quiet for a bit and he says, are you having a difficulty with the change?
Yes, but I can get over it.
The tone there was just like, nah. It's just once a week. You didn't like my assignments when I issued them originally either.
I still don't like your assignments.
But you do them because they have a purpose.
How does listening to ASMR have a purpose? How do... Oh, no.
Breathe.
I am breathing. I don't need you to patronize me, damn it.
Stop it. Just like slowly places his hand into his palm, or his face into his palm.
You know exactly what you're doing.
I understand you are frustrated.
Yes.
However, I distinctly recall you telling me that painting was useless before you started it.
Don't you dare bring this up.
I already have. Just try it. That's all you need to do. Hell, you could listen to it while completing your other assignments. Get it all done in get it all done in one swoop.
I see.
Empathy.
What are you looking for?
Whatever you can find.
You can probably find the fact that Charlie is not impressed. Charlie was like, it feels a bit betrayed. But there's also part of Charlie was like, I kind of expected this. There's also another part of Charlie which is just like, I'm sad.
Oh.
So yeah, conflicted.
That
That sums up Charlie.
That is the life of Charlie.
I am conflicted. I have waited long enough. I can now open up a pop.
He says, "Is there anything else that's on your mind that you'd like to talk about?"
That's a good clarification. And no, not really.
Okay.
How are you doing?
I'm awake.
I apologize for waking you up. I did not take into account time zone differences, even though I do not know where you're going.
It's fine.
You do not accept my apology. I see how it is.
Fine. You're fine. I'm
I
tired.
know. The second reaction from Nigel, sorry, not Nigel, Castle,
What?
you're fine. And then Charlie's just like, I know.
Oh. I don't think he noticed. Because he was just like, it's going over words like, I can't find words, I'm tired. But yes, we'll just give it your best shot. I understand that the change was more sudden than ideal. But I apologize for the background noise.
What's even going on?
I don't know. Nonetheless, I understand that the change was sudden, but I request that you just try and give the new Dr. Thorne a chance.
I already did. Sniff.
You've drawn a conclusion about him already.
Yes.
It's not a good conclusion.
But it's my conclusion.
Try another session.
I feel like you therapists just bully people. Very well.
We do this for your personal health and well-being.
You know, I say that a few times as well.
When?
Charlie thinks for a moment. Well, before I threw the person into a vehicle so they could get reconditioned. I said it, I suppose exact words, it's for your own health. I threw them in the truck. My friend got executed, though. I didn't do that. I was on the robots. Like, cyborgs? No, robots.
I now know that.
Castle, it's too damn late early in the morning for this. Why am I talking to a serial killer on a phone right now?
Like, I imagine he's just like, he's gone to the side of the house and is just sitting. Like, he's just kind of sitting against the house.
Yeah, some late night walkers by and other shady individuals kind of see you, Castle.
He watches them intently as they pass.
And they watch you like this crazy guy on the phone.
He watches, he watches them like one step forward and I'm gonna fucking bolt.
No, it's more like these people, like, he knows where he is, right? Yeah, he's in Gary. Who is this guy that has like such big balls that he's just standing outside on the phone like that? Oh, we better not mess with him. It's probably packing. Meanwhile, Castle, I'm ready to run away, bitch.
Well, no, Castle's sitting there like, I'm packing. Should future appointments continue to prove unhelpful, once I return, you will be back under my jurisdiction. So there's that to look forward to.
Charlie was like about to take that out of context, and we're like, wait a second, that's actually correct. So Charlie's like, I see.
Well, how was she gonna take it out of context?
She was going to be like, you don't have any control over me. And then she's like, wait a second, he's technically in charge of the entire team of therapists, and because of that, so yes, in this regard, he does have control. But at first she was like, no, you're not. That was like her initial reaction.
Do you think you'll be able to handle 28 days?
Charlie squints at the phone. Are you calling me weak, bitch? And then says, yes, I can handle. It's just a stressful day. Wait, no, I can't say that. That's a fucking half-lie.
How is that a half-lie?
Because it really wasn't all that stressful. It's just like there's one stressful moment.
Oh,
So
okay.
it was, today had a moment in it that I did not like.
I understand.
Charlie's like, man, all this like self-fulfillment stuff's pretty hard. It's stressful, guys. It was better when I was just, monotone, like, I'll fucking murder you if you cross me, damn it. Now I have to talk about my feelings.
I love how she came out of the therapy session and was like, I need to call my therapist.
I need to call my real therapist. I don't like this step therapist. That fucking sexy fucking therapist.
You're not my real husband.
I don't know who you are, but you're hot and I'm uncomfortable. Charlie cries.
He says, "Do you need me to stay on the phone?"
This is a trick. And then so Charlie's like, say trick question thing?
No.
I don't understand then.
You said that you've gone through a stressful moment. You are feeling stressed and perturbed.
Yes.
Do you want me to stay on the phone with you?
But what would this accomplish? You've already told me that I have to continue to try with him, and I can't just do the half-assed thing because that'll just result in trouble for me.
That's probably true.
It's not probably true, it is true, you know it.
He doesn't say anything, but like when he's sitting there, he just shrugs to himself. I'm asking more for your comfort.
There's a long moan of silence where Charlie then asks, I don't understand. You forget, Castle, this is someone that doesn't understand their own feelings, let alone other people's feelings.
Dude, 1 second.
What time is it?
It's 3:05 a.m.
I already apologized to waking you up, so I'm not going to say it again.
That's fair. What I mean is, would it be more comfortable for you if I stayed on the phone for a small while? Would that help you?
I forgot to -5, but still, that's still like 3 successes. Charlie says, after a few moments of it might, but I don't want to keep you up. Because Charlie cannot outright say yes, because Charlie is a yandere. If I show weakness, they'll eat me. Sweats.
Charlie, if I'm completely honest with you, answering the phone woke me up, and I'm not going to be able to fall asleep probably for the next few hours. I'm already awake.
I see. And I guess we can end the RP there where, you know, Charlie and Castle chill on the phone with Charlie, you know, trying to understand social norms
Sure.
and being very awkward the entire time on this phone call. Just like, what do I say to keep a conversation going? Do I just sit here in silence? So it probably didn't help Charlie at all. It was probably even more stressful for Charlie.
Well, here, 1 second. It may
Let's
be
fuck
3.
count.
It may be 3 a.m. But I'm capable of fucking talking. So I can roll to see if he's able to do basic socialize to help keep her mind off things.
Okay.
There goes another willpower. Salutes.
Salutes.
As he's just like trying to make basic words happen. He's just like, I'm tired.
This goddamn serial killer.
2 successes.
All right. I don't know what that means. So dab.
Socialized roll is just make base conversation.
Okay, fair enough.
So I mean, Castle's not good at conversation at all. But he basically just probably finds a topic and it's just like go on about that, and then eventually, honestly, after a while, Charlie probably hears like the sound of a door opening, and then what languages does Charlie speak?
Charlie speaks almost fucking everything.
What languages?
Oh my god, there's a lot of languages. 1 second.
So many.
French, Spanish, Arabic,
Okay.
Portuguese. Then they understand and can kind of speak Danish, Japanese, Mandarin, Greek, Russian, ASL, Swahili, Hindi, Dutch, BSL.
You probably hear them like after a while, like a little while talking. You like a door open, and then distant Spanish, just being like, "Castle, what are you doing out here?"
And Charlie is like immediately on the phone. You're outside?
It says 1 moment.
And it's probably, like loud enough that anyone who is, not. And anyone else can also hear feminine voice. You're outside? So there you go, Castle. Now they think you have a significant other. Dab.
And he says, he's like, "Yes, I am outside." Puts phone to chest, says back to Mom, "1 moment, I'll explain."
Charlie's like loudly, why are you outside?
Yeah, it's just fine. Because the walls are made of crackers. The sound travels.
1, walls are not made of crackers. 2, it's not a figure of speech. It's being literal. 2, you understand that, like, I don't know, like, putting a blanket over your head muffles sound, right?
We'll have to continue this conversation later.
What time? What time? And Charlie, takes phone away, is like, what fucking time is it? And checks the time. About how long has passed?
I don't
Do you
know.
think?
Like, how long did Charlie need someone to talk to for?
I don't know, probably like an hour or 2.
There you go.
Oh my god. It's probably for the best then. Have a, I guess, be well, I guess.
1 second.
What do you do? You monster, you cretin.
I'm writing something quick.
Charlie's just like, you introduced me as one of your patients? That's so rude. Could have said a co-worker or a friend from work. No, you have to say that.
It's... That's fair.
Now I just feel insulted. Now we're gonna think I'm crazy.
You're...
Because you are.
Shut up in my inner voice. I don't want to hear nothing from you, inner voice. Yesterday you were like, hey, we should go get Taco Bell. And there is no Taco Bell because we're in the ocean, inner voice.
You have a good night, I'm assuming.
Technically evening, but yes, thank you.
Right. Alright. See you when I return, Charlie.
Very well.
Hangs up.
Unless,
Oh, wait, okay, he would wait until she finished.
so Charlie will say, unless I need to call you again, or unless I get really bored and I text you. Those are things that could happen.
Okay.
And now I'm also upset, because now people are going, because now whoever you just spoke to is going, wait, be okay. So now your mother's going to think I'm crazy, that you were talking to a crazy person. I'm upset about that too.
Why do you care what my mom thinks?
Because it's about me. Narcissism. Anyways, yes, be well, Castle, and I again apologize for the second time for awakening you.
Apology accepted. Just please try to remember time zones.
I will.
Thank you.
Charlie will hang up on the phone.
Hang up. Has to go explain to Mother why he was sitting outside. No one's dying. Yes, it's fine.
Charlie's just like now in there, we're spotlight. Refer to me as one of his patients.
Yeah, well, you are one of his patients, Charlie. Shut the fuck.
Not only was
Now-
it's
now
funny
go
because
inside.
he's like, he referred to me as one of my patients, even though Charlie called as a patient, upset about the new therapist.
Yep. Charlie's like, fucking bastard. You could at least call me an acquaintance or something, but no. Called me a fucking patient.
Go inside Castle, explain to your mom why you were outside for so long. A bunch of crazy
Charlie.
people came by looking at you. And then rolling at me another D4.
Oh my god.
Where are these D4s
Three.
for?
No, well, like, sorry. 4D10. Sorry.
Oh,
What's this for? Jesus.
maybe to see if I get mugged. One success.
You're just barely able to get back to sleep.
Oh, thank God. He lays down, he's just like, I'm not gonna be able to sleep. And then he wakes up at like 8, he's like, holy shit. And then he sees the text the next morning. Where it's just like,
I should give
hey,
the bell.
hello, the therapy went great.
I think it went well.
And he's just like, stares at phone.
I won't bother you with details because you're on vacation and shouldn't have to worry about any of this. I addressed the homework you gave him last time. Things went well.
Do 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 do.
We want to kill that one.
I'll get that dog! Second.
It's 2 hours of my life wasted. That's what Castle's thinking.
Castle's just happy he was able to get back to sleep. If he wasn't able to get back to sleep, that would have been so rough.
It would have been real rough. I wanted more angst. I wanted you not to get back to sleep. But
I mean-
that eight there saved you.
I'm willing to take the L, honestly, but
That's up to you. It's his Castle's story of his vacation.
it ended on a happy note, which was that he managed to sleep.
Yeah.
That said, however, he probably is tired, so I will roll an addiction roll the next day.
Oh no.
Flaws are -5, right?
Are you trying to go off coffee?
Yeah, he's trying to stop.
Alright, roll that addiction roll.
It's -5 for flaws, right?
Yes.
Oh. Rolling the dice, it says. Without rolling the dice.
What was the minus that gave you a -3? Was that derangements?
What?
Was it derangement that gave you a -3?
For what?
When you have to roll them. Because I know that one gives you a -3 and one gives you a -5.
I am unsure.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I don't know half of what... Like, Castle's got so many flaws at this point, it's hard to tell which one's derangements and which ones are flaws, to be fair.
Fair enough.
Victory. No coffee touches these lips. Oh shit, this was a downtime period.
Yeah.
Oh. God.
Was this a downtime period?
1 sec. It should be fine. Okay, there. I've succeeded all my flaws. Vacation's going great.
Great so far. The thing I had to add about Gary, as you're there, there are a lot more drugs moving around.
A lot more than before?
Yeah.
Huh.
Like, you see some pretty, like, toked up people just in the street. Like, more so than before.
They're smoking grim stuff, aren't they? Sorry, inhaling it. Griminin. Big, huge silver canisters with that lovely purple paint in big, bold letters. Griminin.
That's not what it's called, but...
It's called something along those lines, and you know it. It was called something so stupid that we were instantly like, cherubim. It screams, sorry, not cherubim, it
Like-
screams camerata.
Mm-hmm.
Castle's on vacation. It's not his job to deal with the doped up people in the street. Because that's the way he sees it. This is normal Gary, only worse. He's not surprised it got worse.
Just saying, you want to light it up while you're on vacation, Castle.
I'm addicted to something else, Castle, with your addictive personality.
What are you talking about? I don't have an addictive personality.
The fact that you're a glutton for punishments is otherwise.
Stop pulling me out. Drug.
Anyway, there's your therapy,
Thanks.
Charlie.
I thought that was pretty great. Did you have fun, Jordan?
Sure.
What do you mean, sure?
Sure.
You got to be fucking vindictive towards Charlie like you've always wanted to be.
I wasn't vindictive towards Charlie at all.
You